Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors? I'll tell you why I think it's going to happen coming up. You're watching James Carter TV.
Yeah, looking like a trouble when I walked in the building. That mean I got something expensive. Know my friends, they killing. All these hoes I'm killing.
Hello and welcome to James Carter TV. The 2016 NBA free agency period is upon us. It begins July 1st. I'm a little late with this, but who cares? It's time to give you my preview and my predictions for the 2016 NBA free agency period. And as you heard in the intro, I believe Kevin Durant will be going to the Golden State Warriors, but we will get into that in a moment. Let me give you my top 10 free agents, and it's not a great free agency class. Next year is going to be much better. I mean, next year you're talking about, if LeBron he'll probably sign like a 1-and-1 deal. If Durant stays, he'll sign a 1-and-1 deal. You could potentially have LeBron, Durant again, joining Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry in a star-studded free agency. Probably the last one we're going to have for years to come. So next year is really the year to get free agents, because after that, not many are coming out. So with that in mind, though, this free agency class isn't bad, and it's worth discussing. We will discuss it here. I'll give you my top 10 free agents from 10 to 1. But first, let's talk about some honorable mentions. First of all, Andre Drummond is not on this list. He is staying with the Detroit Pistons. They will match any offer they give to him, so I'm not even going to worry about putting him on this list. If he was a free agent, though, he'd be third on this list. Or if he could become a free agent out there, but not going to happen. Now we have some more honorable mentions. Number 1, Ryan Anderson. I think this guy is really being underrated out here as a free agent. I hear a lot of people talking about Harrison Barnes and Nicolas Batum. I think Ryan Anderson, you add him to your team, you have one of the best sixth mans in the NBA, a guy that can come in and start games for you at the power forward and small forward position a little bit and be a great forward for your basketball team. I mean, the guy put up 17 points per game this season. Per 36 minutes, he would have put up 20 points per game. So he's a guy that when you play him, he just knows how to put the ball in the basket, has been a perennial sixth man of the year contender for years and years and years. He'll continue to be so. He's only 28 years old. I think he's a really underrated free agent, and I think the Washington Wizards could be in his future. The Lakers are also interested in him. You have Nicolas Batum, a lot of interest to him. If the Golden State Warriors miss out on Kevin Durant, they will look at Batum here, but he's a guy that's very long, can play the 2, can play the 3, a guy that can knock down a 3. He's gotten better with that, and also a very good passer, one of the better passers at the wing. A lot of these wing players that I'm about to discuss, like Chandler, Parsons, they have issues passing the ball out of their wing positions, but Nicolas Batum has no problem with that. He's a very good passer. I think he might be staying in Charlotte, though. I think that's probably where he's going to stay, because Charlotte doesn't pay anybody. I mean, who is Charlotte paying? I mean, Al Jefferson's out of there next year, so outside of him, I don't know what their big contracts are. I mean, Kemba Walker's contract is going to escalate a little bit in the upcoming years, but they should be able to afford to keep Nicolas Batum. Pau Gasol, I think he goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Last year they signed David West. This is a better signing than David West, but it's another guy that they can put at center, put at power forward, and mix into their lineup, and really, I think, help their lineup. Manu Ginobili knows him well. I think they'll have some conversations between those two, and you'll be looking at a nice pairing in San Antonio. Dirk Nowitzki, there's conversation about him going to Golden State, but I think that's only if they miss out on Durant. I have them getting Durant, so I have Dirk Nowitzki staying in Dallas. I mean, he's an old man. He's 38. He's going to be 39, so he's not going to be on my top 10. I'm sorry, but, he still can make an impact for 1 year. Sure, but only in the playoffs, because I think during the regular season, he'll be fine, but he'll be a huge detriment defensively. We move on. Harrison Barnes. I'm not a big Harrison Barnes fan. I think he's overrated, severely overrated. I mean, he's never had a PER average in the NBA, not even close to average in the NBA. He's always hovering around 13, 12. A guy that's not a very good three-point shooter, not a very good defender. Hell, what is he good at? I mean, he's not aggressive offensively. I'm not a big Harrison Barnes fan. He's going to get overpaid in free agency, and I'm going to cry. But I think the Philadelphia 76ers could be in his future, because they're looking for wing guys to play with Ben Simmons. I would like this fit, though, to be quite honest, as long as you're not expecting him to put up 20 points per game, because he'll never never do that for you. And if he is, then man, your team sucks. We move on. Jordan Clarkson, I think, is one of the most underrated free agents of this class. 15 points per game he averaged last season. A guy that's extremely athletic for the point guard position, extremely lengthy for the point guard position. A guy that can continue to improve. He's only 24 years old, so I like that as well. But I think he's staying in LA. So with that said, let's get into the top 10. It's about time. You're damn right. The top 10 free agents of this 2016 NBA class. And we start at number 10, and we start with Chandler Parsons. And I know Chandler Parsons has been the butt of a lot of people's jokes lately, but this guy can play. You put him at that corner 3 line, and he'll be knocking them down all day. And he's a decent defender. He has some nice length on his arms. He keeps a lot of defenders in front of him. And he can do a pretty good job containing guys. When he's healthy, he's a very, very good NBA small forward to have. Throw him out there at that corner 3, and he will knock them down consistently. I'm going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers are interested in him. They need some wingmen. I think they could look at starting Parsons at the 3, moving Brandon Ingram to the 2, where he can play. Remember, he played point guard in high school. He even played 2 guard a lot for Duke last year. A lot of people don't talk about that, but Brandon Ingram can definitely be a 2. So I like the fit, actually, and I have them getting Chandler Parsons, who I think would be a great fit in that Luke Walton 3-point passing offense. Love the fit. I think he goes to LA. Also, Boston is a possibility here. Him going back to Houston is a possibility as well. Miami could be looking at him as well. Oh, and Golden State, because if Luke Walton will be interested, I'm sure Steve Kerr will be as well if they miss out on Durant. Number 9, we have Dwyane Wade. He's only going one of 2 places to me, either Miami, which is where I think he's going to go, that's my prediction, or Cleveland. He'll be going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, teaming up with LeBron James yet again. And, maybe there's a slight chance, actually, for the LA Clippers if he and Chris Paul, I think they're pretty good friends, right? They're in that LeBron gang of friends. I think that could also be a possibility. I think he likes Doc Rivers. So I'll leave those 3 teams, but I think he's bluffing. He's been pulling this move the past 3 years. I'm shocked that Pat Riley is even biting, because honestly, he's bluffing. So I think Dwyane Wade's going to end his way back in Miami, but I think look out for LA Clippers. The more I think about it, yeah, I actually really like that fit, and that could really push them up to be a top 3 team in the West. So look out for that. But anyway, I have him staying in Miami. Number 8, we have Bradley Beal. Only reason he's over Dwyane Wade is because Bradley Beal, guys, he's only 22, 23 years old, man. Still huge potential. Does Bradley Beal possess a guy that is a knockdown shooter, has issues staying healthy, has issues getting rebounds, has issues playing defense, but with his potential, only at 22, 23 years old, and a guy that averaged 17 points per game last season, he still has the potential to even have 20 points per game consistently in this league. Be a little low end, 20 point per game guy. So I look at that and I really like that, but I think the Wizards will eventually own up and pay him. He's an restricted free agent, so look out for that. But if he can get out there, maybe move around a little bit, if Dwyane Wade leaves and Pat Riley opens up the checkbook, he could go to Miami. Boston Celtics could be looking for a fit there. Look around, because I think Bradley Beal really has a lot of potential still to be had in this league, and I think people are underrating him a little bit. Number 7 is a guy I'm going to defend here, and his name is Dwight Howard. Now, I'm a Laker fan. I get it. We all hate Dwight. I think Dwight Howard still is a very good NBA player. I mean, the guy averaged 13 and 12 this year. He only averaged 13 points per game is because he wasn't asked to do much in this offense. It was mainly just, hey, James Harden, just take over every day. And then there's a bunch of idiots like Corey Brewer just jacking up threes any minute, any second, any millisecond they can get. They're jacking up threes. So it became an offense in which Dwight Howard was phased out. He needs to watch his free throw percentage. It dipped below 50% again, but if he can fix that, I think we're still talking about a very good center in the NBA, a guy that still averaged 1.6, 1.7 blocks per game, a guy that can get you double digits every single game, and that is very valuable in this league. I mean, we're talking about Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah sucks compared to Dwight Howard, so don't discount the possibility of signing Dwight Howard. I have him going to the Boston Celtics, who are very interested in in him. They are one of the 2 teams that have a meeting scheduled with him the first day free agency begins. The other team, the Atlanta Hawks, I wouldn't love that fit because you have Dennis Schroeder, who loves driving. You have Dwight Howard, who remains in the paint. Paul Millsap, who can hit a mid-range jumper, but, doesn't really like to leak out to the three-point line. You have Kyle Korver, who's definitely staying out there, but I don't know. I'm not in love with that. But, hey, Schroeder could give him some nice assists, so I guess that would be fine. But, I think the Boston Celtics would be a better fit for Dwight. Good pairing with Isaiah Thomas, definitely. And I think that's where he's probably going to end up. So look at the Boston Celtics. Also, the New York Knicks. I think Phil Jackson could look at Dwight, say, I really like what you could do. I really like your pairing with Kristaps Porzingis, with Melo running this triangle offense. He's like the perfect Lakers center. I mean, he's not Shaq, but in terms of that triangle center without Shaq, when they had Andrew Bynum and when the, Bulls had whoever they were starting at center that year, Horace Grant, blah, 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 so I think he could fit under the other triangle center in the triangle. So, look out for that possibility as well. We move on to number 6, Al Horford. I have him going to the Houston Rockets. I think the Rockets are going to get somebody. I don't know who, and I think this is the one that I just settled with. If you're an NBA team and you're under the sun, you are interested in Al Horford. I mean, that's been the case. I think I've heard rumblings with the Lakers, the Celtics, the Heat, the Rockets. I already said the Celtics. The Celtics called him twice, probably. I'm pretty sure the Warriors would be interested in him. The Mavericks. If you're an NBA team and you're under the sun, you've called, contacted, DM'd Al Horford. Where's he going to go? I say Houston. Really, it's just a crapshoot at this point. You're just picking a team. Even the Orlando Magic, who don't do anything at free agency, have rang the phone call and called Al Horford. So really, it's just who do you want to pick out of a hat? And my hat said the Houston Rockets, and that's what I'm going with. It'd be a nice pairing with James Harden. I think Horford he's a good player. I think he's slightly overrated. I think people are thinking that he's a great center in the league. Definitely not, but he's definitely a decent player, an above average center at the center position. Yeah, but not much more than that. We move on. Mike Conley, a guy that didn't have to score much, but I think he's shown an ability to score for the Memphis Grizzlies throughout his time there. If he can go somewhere else, he may be able to put up some bigger points than you're expecting. But I have him staying with Memphis. They have the whole Justin Timberlake music video that they showed him. I think they're really wooing him, and they really don't have anywhere close or anything close resembling a future in Memphis. I mean, Gasol, Randolph, they're getting old. They need to have a cornerstone. Mike Conley isn't great, but at least he's something. They need to keep him, and I think they will. Mike Conley sticks with the Memphis Grizzlies. We have another guy sticking at number 4. His name is DeMar DeRozan, guy for the Toronto Raptors, wing guy, shooting guard / small forward, cannot shoot a 3-ball. And I remember back a couple years ago, his sophomore season, or maybe it was the rookie season, guy shot under 10% from the 3-point line. Now he's gotten better from there, but man, he still can't shoot the 3, but he can drive, man, and he can get to the foul line, and that is valuable to me. So while you see guys rank him, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I even saw Sports Illustrated had him at 11. I think that's absurd. I think we're talking about a guy that knows how to drive and knows how to drive well and is a pretty good defender at this league. So with that said, I have him staying in Toronto. I think they're wooing him. I think he wants to stay there. I think there's only 2 other possibilities, and that'd be the Lakers or maybe the Heat. I think those are the 1-2 options there. I think he's going to stay in Toronto, though. I think he likes it. I think he's genuine when he says that. I was thinking he was going to go to LA, and that's still a possibility, but I think he actually wants to stay with the Toronto Raptors. We move on to number 3. We have Hassan Whiteside of the LA Lakers. A lot of people think he's overrated. I mean, I don't know how you average over 3.7 blocks per game and be overrated. I mean, I just don't know how that happens. The guy's great, guys. I mean, an absolute stud defensively at the center position. We haven't seen a guy like this pretty much in a long, long time in the NBA. Definitely not in an era even close to this. The guy's just a stud, man. He's a double-double machine, a triple-double machine in blocks. Man, that's insane, and that's going anywhere he goes. The only problem is he has a little bit of clown in him. Has some attitude issues and whatnot. I'm going to the Lakers. And as a Laker fan, I want him. I'm a little conservative, though. Even though I just poo-pooed Al Horford a little bit, not much, but a little bit, I might prefer Horford because I think with the Lakers' young squad, I think Horford would be a better leader, a better veteran presence for that young squad than Hassan Whiteside, who could be a little bit of a clown. Like, we already have D'Angelo, the clown Russell, and then pairing him with Hassan Whiteside. I trust Brandon Ingram. I mean, that guy is mature. I mean, for an 18-year-old, that's almost as mature as you can get. So I love that. But D'Angelo, Hassan, not loving that. But I think they're going to go after him. I think that's where he's going to want to go somewhere big. I think he has that type of personality from what I've seen with him. I mean, he's been tweeting, I'm a businessman and whatnot. Okay, well, let's see what kind of business you're about to show us all. And I think the Lakers are going to come calling and he's going to go. We'll see how it works out. I like him. I really like his game, but little bit of clown in him. But I rank him number 3 for a reason because I have faith in him. I have him going to the Los Angeles Lakers. Other possibilities, staying in Miami, definitely number 2 there. I heard the Warriors could be interested if they lose out on Durant. The Warriors are very interested in making moves, man. Props to them. I hate when teams get complacent saying, let's just see what happens. But I love the Warriors' mentality. We want to sign guys. I love that. Other guys that they could, or that Hassan Whiteside could also go to, can't think of many teams right now off the top of my, I'm sure a lot of teams are interested, but where he could actually go, I think it's really just Heat and the Lakers. Maybe the Celtics could sneak in there, have a conversation or two, but, I think that's pretty much the 2 that you're looking at there. So just keep an eye on that. Number 2, Kevin Durant. That's why Kevin Durant is number 2. Why? I'll tell you why coming up. I think he's gone, guys. I think there's just been way too much talk, way too much chatter for months, man. Like, hell, for even a year, we've been talking about Kevin Durant's free agency because it's possible, because it's more than possible, because I think it's happening. I think Durant is out of there. I just think he just doesn't want to play with Russell Westbrook anymore, man, because the Thunder roster is good enough to compete with Golden State and Cleveland. It's good enough. So why is he even entertaining anything? It's because for some reason he just doesn't want to be there anymore. Like, in terms of a jump from the Warriors to the in terms of the jump from the Thunder to the Warriors, the jump isn't that big. So why he's so interested in making it, I think he just doesn't want to be in OKC anymore, whether it's because of Russell or anything else. I don't know, but I think that's what's going on. And I don't understand. I've never heard of somebody sitting down or having even heard of the possibility of this guy possibly sitting down with Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs, sitting down with Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors and having Steph and Clay in the room, sitting down with the Boston Celtics, Danny Ainge, all these guys, sitting down with Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, sitting down with Doc Rivers and the LA Clippers, and then saying, nah, guys, I'm going back to OKC. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, man. I think once these meetings start, it's going to become clearer and clearer that he's out of there. I just don't see how you can sit down with those 5 teams I just mentioned and say, nah, I'm good. And he's not going to meet with LA or Washington. And I say good because he needs to worry about winning a title. Because Kevin Durant, you don't want to go down as one of those players that missed out on winning an NBA championship. It will be a cloud over your head. Because right now, I don't even think you're a top 20 player in NBA history. You have a chance to be, but you need to win a damn ring. And you haven't even come close, really. The one time you made the finals, you lost in 5 games. We don't hold you accountable for that, though, because we don't have that many that high expectations for you, right? The reason I hold LeBron accountable is because literally he is probably the second best prospect to ever come in the NBA. Ever. The only one that could even resemble him would be Patrick Ewing. And before that, maybe who was in the Hakeem was pretty good. Just in terms of this guy is going to be great. Coming into the league, he's going to it's LeBron and then Patrick Ewing. Those are the 2 guys. And Patrick Ewing, for that, big hype and motivation and talk, he wasn't as good as he was still very good, very good. but he didn't really even, reach that. It's tough to reach that. So that's why I hold such high expectations of LeBron. Kevin Durant, he was drafted second. Okay, but, we don't really hold him to that high of a standard, but I want to hold him a little more accountable. You got to win. You got to get close. You got to get in again. You haven't even been in the finals again since losing 4-1, getting, really just killed by the Miami Heat in that finals. And that was 4 years ago, man. So you got to get back. I think he goes to the Warriors. I think he's going to sit down with one of these teams. He's going to say, all right, I'm in. And I think it's going to be the Golden State Warriors. And number one, real quick, we'll gloss over because it probably won't happen. But it is LeBron James. Now, I exempted Andre Drummond from this list because I felt he didn't have a chance to leave. I do believe there is a chance. It's a small chance, but I think there's a chance LeBron could leave. If someone can present LeBron James with a team or a concept of a team with Chris Paul, Melo, LeBron, and D-Wade, he's gone. You have to present it. You have to make it happen. You have to get the pieces. If you can do it, he's gone. LeBron James is a very friend-based person. He has the same friends he had back in high school. He hangs out with these 4 NBA guys all the time, and also his high school friends, Maverick Carter and all those other idiots, right? They're idiots. So when you talk about that, and LeBron James always talking about these guys, I really want to be on a team with these guys. If you can present him with that possibility, I think that would be too much for him. The only teams that I think could even build that would be Miami, and then possibly LA Clippers. And then I also talked about this a couple weeks ago, the Lakers. I think the Lakers could even come up with something like that. I don't think it's going to happen. I have them staying in Cleveland. That is my official prediction. But I think there's a chance. And because there's a chance, I'm going to leave him on the list. And he is number 1. So with that said, that is my 2016 NBA free agency preview. What were your thoughts? Who are your top 10 free agents? Tell me if you disagree, what your predictions are, where you think they're going to go. And until next time, James Carter TV. And I'm peace.